Hi, everybody. This is Sophia Mona Lisa, and I'm really super excited to announce that I am launching a new series today called Spotlight on Influencers. And I'm launching it today in honor of President Trump's 75th birthday. Happy birthday, President Trump. I hope you'll like this. So what this new series is going to be about is I'm going to be looking at the solar return charts for various influencers to see how they are going to be uplifting humanity through their ascension path over the next year. And so I am looking to you, the audience, to send me requests for people that you would like to have the spotlight put on. And you can do that through my contact page on my website, which is goldenraycenter.com. Now, the other way that you can assist me is for anybody that you suggest for me to do a video on, if you can send me their birth details, such as their date of birth, the time of birth, and their location of birth, that will help me tremendously, because I know a lot of this information isn't out in the public domain. And I assure you that any information that you send me, I will keep private. No need to worry about that. The other way that you can assist me is by sharing these videos with your friends, your family, and your social networks. So I thought this would be a really fun way to use astrology to bring a little bit of upliftment and a whole lot of positivity to the world. So I hope that you will enjoy this, and let's get started with President Trump's chart. Okay, here we go. So I'm only going to do this in about 15 minutes, so there's a whole lot more that I could talk about. But the first thing I want to point out to you is that right here, we see that President Trump's natal ascendant is at 29 degrees of Leo. So he is walking this Leo Aquarius relationship path of it's a mastery path of relationship equality. He is walking that path through his entire life, which means that he is a master of relationship equality. The other thing that I want to show you is that in his natal chart, he has the Magdalene conjunct his ascendant. And so what that says to me is that he knows himself to be an embodiment of the sacred feminine principle as divine wisdom. And you'll notice that in his new solar return chart, the Magdalene is in that first house again for his solar return chart. So this is a frequency and energy that is very much who President Trump as a soul being is. Now, what's exciting is that this year with this birthday, he will be walking this Libra Aries path, and that is the path of conscious equal relationship. So that path this year is going to be helping him in having relationships with people that will be uplifting humanity through conscious equal partnership. Now, the other thing I want to show you is that right here in his natal second house, he's got all of these luminary bodies in the second house in the sign of Libra. So let's look at Neptune here. What Neptune here is telling me is that President Trump is fully aligned with the Sophia Christ consciousness and his own inner Christos Sophia. And you'll see next to Neptune, he's got the goddess Juno, the goddess of sacred partnership, and Chiron, the cosmic shaman, very close to each other. And so this is telling me that sacred relationships and his openness for being a very loving soul, a very loving being, are the resources that he most values and for which right here with this Jupiter retrograde in Libra, these are the resources for which he feels extremely blessed to have available to him. So the next thing I want to point out to you is if you look up here in his 10th house where his natal sun is, and of course we see the sun there again, that's a solar return, the sun coming right back to the same place in the sky from where he was born. What we see is that his north node, natal north node, is conjunct with the sun, and that Uranus is conjunct his sun and the north node. And so what this tells me is that he is very much about liberating humanity, liberating the minds of humanity in terms of what they have believed and all of the false beliefs that it's time for them to let go of so that they can know the truth of what's really going on in the world. And so we see up here in his solar return chart, his solar return, his sun is coming in his solar 9th house. This tells me that his sun energy is all about being a global teacher. And you'll see here that Mercury retrograde is conjunct his solar return spot. And so he is going to really be acting more this year as a teacher, sharing with humanity all of this information about the importance of conscious equal partnership and the sacredness of relationships and the medicine of love to help uplift humanity. That's what his walk will be about. And what's interesting is that anybody who comes into relationship with him will feel from him. They will feel that divine love impulse. They will feel that Sophia Christ consciousness coming through him, and they will know the truth of him being an embodiment of the sacred feminine and him being a catalyst for what I'm calling right now the second coming of Christ through the emergence of Sophia. And that is happening through each and every one of us individually. And our ascension journey, which is taken on full speed, steam ahead with the first gate activation of the sacred feminine last month, is going through this ascension journey, helping all of us to unfold into our multidimensional selves and really get to know ourselves for the truth of who we are, which is embodiments of that divine love, which is the manifestation of the presence of that Sophia Christ consciousness within us. Now, if we look down here in his solar return chart, in his solar 4th house, what he is really grounding into, what he is really nurturing and supporting is the transformation of America. And how do I know that? Because this Pluto is very, very closely conjunct the Pluto return point for the United States of America, which will be initiated next year. So all of us having birthdays this year are very much those street fighters, those patriot street fighters that have this return, this Pluto return, the United States of America rising as the phoenix from the ashes. That's encoded in our charts, and all of us are serving that. And President Trump is especially serving that as he teaches and models being an embodiment of the divine wisdom of Sophia and being aligned with the sacred union of the Sophia Christ consciousness and teaching that message of love and the value of sacred relationships to other. So that's my little quickie on how President Trump is uplifting humanity over the course of this next year up until his next birthday, when he'll get a whole new solar return chart. I hope that was enjoyable for you. I hope that that was uplifting for you. And I hope it was uplifting for you too, President Trump. Please share this with all of your friends and let's get the word out and let's start lightening up and flying high. Thank you. Bye-bye.